everyone. How are you? It's great to be in Washington, D.C. among so many service lovers. It's wonderful. Love seeing our senior corps members out there, RSVP, foster grandparents, senior companions. I know we've got some AmeriCorps members, Vista, AmeriCorps Vista, AmeriCorps NCCC. I've seen some alums out there too, right? Yeah. Volunteer centers, hands-on network affiliates, you're out there. Social Innovation Fund, our faith and community-based partners. It's so great to see it. And we have a few of the Corporation for National Community Service team members out there too. So big applause for them. That's right. Michelle Nunn, I think, is still with us in the corner over here. Michelle is always puts on an outstanding conference. She leads with passion. We are indebted to Michelle Nunn for her leadership, her passion, and her commitment to bringing service and citizen participation across the country. Thank you, Michelle. We have a fabulous board of directors. These board members are nominated by the President of the United States. They are confirmed by the Senate in a unanimous fashion, I may add. And when the Senate can confirm anything unanimously, we celebrate that. But I know I've got my sisters in service are here with me today. Laisha Ward, our board chair, Phyllis Siegel, and also my brother in service, Eric Tannenblatt. Thank our board, if you will. It's great. Friends, we have much to celebrate. We've got a 20-year track record. Coming up on 20 years, on September 21st, the legislation was signed into law to create the Corporation for National and Community Service and create what we now know is a successful national service program throughout the country. Soon we'll hit 50 years of Vista and 50 years of foster grandparents. So that'll be something we'll be celebrating as well. We have great support from President Obama and the White House. A very special guest in the House with us today, representing the White House. So I'll give you a little teaser on that, and I'll introduce him shortly. We have super bipartisan support from governors, from past presidents, from mayors across the country, from local leaders of all persuasions. It's just great to celebrate. And I don't know about you, but yesterday's platform of bipartisanship and spirit was fantastic and refreshing, wasn't it? I mean, anytime we can get two members of the polar opposite political parties and persuasions agreeing on our cause, service, that's a good day for Americas. There's other things to celebrate. A few of you were here at the policy session that John Bridgeland and Alan Casey led a few minutes ago and revealed new research that shows 4 out of 5 Americans support voluntary national service and military service, even tying it to having a living stipend and a college scholarship. This is just out today. I'm very excited about this new research. I think it's going to help us take our message all over the country to leaders who are interested in how people feel about national service. We've known it, but we're interested in what others who are not necessarily in our daily lives feel about national service. So I'm really thrilled to have that support. Did I mention the volunteer rate is at some of its highest levels ever, including seniors volunteering at a high level. Our seniors, yeah, you're rocking. That's right. It's great. And I love this statistic, and this is often not told. While we have about 80,000 AmeriCorps members serving each year, and we're coming up on a little over 800,000 alums, which is something to celebrate, the 80,000 AmeriCorps members, part of their role, part of your role, AmeriCorps members, is to recruit volunteers to serve alongside you. And that story doesn't get told. 2 years ago, you recruited 3.5 million volunteers to serve alongside you and introduced these volunteers to the cause that you were working on. And the idea is that when you step out and graduate and move on, that these volunteers stay behind. That number this past year went up. Keep in mind, the number of AmeriCorps members stayed about the same, but the number of volunteers recruited by AmeriCorps members went up 500,000 Americans, from 3.5 to 4 million Americans. That's something to celebrate. More of them coming together with us. The demand for national service is as strong as it's ever been. Today, I am proud to announce that we are awarding $200 million in AmeriCorps grants to 270 fabulous organizations. Congratulations to those of you who have won these awards. Very competitive. We had $341 million in applications through the competitive process. So you can tell if you won one of these awards, you are running a great program. Other programs that did not win an award are also running great programs. But we're working within the constraints of what we have to work with in these tough fiscal times, and we're proud to be able to focus on those $200 million. But also the state commissions were awarded $110 million to distribute and invest locally in the states across the country. So cheers to the state commissions as well. Absolutely. I hope many of you participated on April 9th, which is Senator Harris Wofford's birthday, I may add. Where's Senator Wofford? Yes, thank you so much, Senator Wofford. My first day on the job, also April 9th, a year ago, so we celebrate that together every year. But anyway, on April 9th, we had the first ever Mayor's Day of Recognition for National Service. 832 mayors across the country issued proclamations, had press conferences, held events, had award ceremonies to celebrate AmeriCorps, Senior Corps programs. This was a fantastic day. Mayor Michael Nutter from Philadelphia, this was his idea that he brought to us. He championed it through the U.S. Conference of Mayors. The National League of Cities also was our champion on this. We're looking for many more years of this, and thank you so much for those of you who participated in the Mayor's Day. I talked to Mayor Nutter last week, and he said, Wendy, we're going to exceed 1,000 next year. I said, I'm with you, Mayor Nutter, I'm with you, and he may even announce it very soon. He's on his way to the U.S. Conference of Mayors annual conference, and he's promised to talk about national service and the great work that you're doing. Those mayors represented 100 million Americans. That's 1/3 of our population. So that was a great amplification for the work that you're doing around the country, and I'm just thrilled that we were able to participate with that. With all of that, I want to just stop a minute, and I want to just thank each one of you. Each one of you have committed your time, your energy, much of your time that you could be giving to families, your careers, to national service and volunteerism. And I don't think we can go through this conference enough without saying thank you. Thank you for your service, thank you for your commitment, thank you for your leadership. Whether you're managing a program, administering a program, or you're serving as an AmeriCorps member, or you're an alum who is continuing to serve in your communities, I thank you for your service. Give yourselves a round of applause. Congratulations on all your work. Thank you. If you have been following me on Twitter, you will know that we have just released some fabulous new research. Or if you've read the Washington Post or heard any of the, happened to be listening to any one of the radio stations that I spoke to yesterday, which were dozens, and I think I tallied up about 2 million Americans I spoke to by radio yesterday to share some fantastic new research. This research, done over pulling data from 10 years, 70,000 people in the survey sample. That's significant, folks. If you're in the research world, you know this. Answers the question that we've been asking ourselves. Does volunteering actually help you get a job? And I'm thrilled to announce that the answer is a resounding yes. We have known that for years. Anecdotally, all of us who work in the volunteer sector know people who have secured a job, either directly or indirectly from their volunteer work. But we never had any substantial research to prove it. Now we do. The statistic, if you volunteer and you're looking for work, you're 27% more likely to secure a job than if you did not volunteer. That is significant, folks, 27%. What's interesting about this research is volunteering increases your likelihood of finding research, no matter what your gender is, your age, your race, or your geographic area. It increases the likelihood on all conditions. But there are two groups that I want to point out that I think are important to you. How many of you represent or are from a rural community, what you would define as a rural community? Quite a bit of you. I would guess about a third in the audience from a rural community. If you live in a rural community, our data tells us that if you volunteer and you're looking for work, you increase your likeliness of finding a job by 55%. So those of you from rural areas, what are we going to be doing now? Talking to those who are unemployed, introducing them to your programs, bringing them into your nonprofits and others, asking them to serve in AmeriCorps or Senior Corps programs to help them get a job if that's their desire and their need. Another group that's important are those people who do not have a high school degree. Their likelihood of getting a job if they volunteer and don't have a high school degree is 51%. So you see the conclusion there is that if you're in a rural community or you don't have a high school degree, this is sort of like what levels the playing field. This gives you that added advantage as you get out and you're networking and you're building your networks and you are gaining new skills and experiences. This will give you an advantage. So I think that is very significant for those two groups, but bottom line is 27% increase is really, really significant. I think we'll put up a picture for Maria next. Let's see if we do. Okay, this is Maria. She's from my home state of Florida, Lakeland, Florida. Anyone here from Lakeland? Janet's here? Yeah, good to see you all. So let me tell you quickly about Maria and see if you can identify with this. A couple of years ago, Maria was looking for a job. She first went to the trouble and time and effort to get credentialed as a certified nursing assistant. So she took her shiny new certified nursing assistant document and her resume with her and started going around the area looking for a job in medical professional offices and hospitals and other locations. And everywhere she went, everyone said, your certificate is helpful, but I'm sorry you don't have any experience. I'm sorry, Maria, thank you for your interest, but you need to get some experience before I can employ you. So Maria took that advice from those who were turning her down. She said, well, I'm going to go get some experience. I'm going to volunteer. She started volunteering at the Polk County, that's the county in Lakeland, the Polk County Adult Daycare Center. A couple of months later, they hired her. Now that's the success story that we're looking for. That's what we need to do to give hope to people who are unemployed. We can do that with our wonderful, beautiful tool of service and volunteerism and how we manage. I'm going to encourage you to look for people who are unemployed. Bring them into your organizations. Treat them almost like an intern. You know, interns we treat a little differently. We invest in their professional development, while in exchange for their time and talents. So if we do this, we will help those people who are unemployed. So I really want you to take on that as a challenge.